everyone, it's Vanna for Kelowna Now, and today I'm joined by my dear friend and West Kelowna country superstar, Ben Klick.
Wow, country superstar. I'm going to take you everywhere with me now.
Hype man for Ben Klick. You're back from Nashville.
It was awesome.
Yeah?
It was awesome. It was 4 months of just like an artist development trip is what I called it. Anything from networking to, I think I wrote about 45 songs in 4 months, which was nuts. Made a whole bunch of new friends, took some guitar lessons from some of my favorite players down there, vocal stuff. Like it was just an all-inclusive, anything to do with music. That's what I was doing for about down in Nashville for 4 months.
Yeah, so you drove up there at first, right?
Well, down, yeah. I
down.
drove, well, it's south, come on.
Yeah.
I drove basically over 3 to 4 days with my dad, straight from here directly southeast, and saw a whole bunch of really cool places, just kind of the States. One of the kind of the coolest things that I got to see was this place called Al's Oasis, a little diner in South Dakota, and ended up writing a song about it just on some spare time down there and things like that. But just to be able to see those places, and then driving back, we decided, Dad and I, to take like 6 days and do it on the way back and visit even more states and cities and actually see a little bit more. Ended up in the Grand Canyon, ended up in Vegas, and a whole bunch of these other places that we've never been. But yeah, that's definitely the way to see the country. Anybody that asks, how did you do it, or would you do it again? 100%, that's the recommendation.
Yeah. So you're actually here because we're here to talk about your dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got to spend all this time with him. Recently, he was diagnosed with MS.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was that like for you finding that out?
So it was back in June of 2018, and there was the lead up to it, and nobody in the family really knew what was going on until I got a call from my mom, and I was working somewhere, and I get this call, and basically it was your dad's been diagnosed with MS. I had no idea what it was at the time, and over the course of however many months, I started to learn a little bit about it. And once he was diagnosed, I wanted to do something to help in whatever way I could, whether it's through music, whether it's through whatever, just to donate something back to the society to give back to that cause.
Yeah, so you've put together a bit of a concert festival for Kelowna?
Yeah. So I decided that I was fully prepared to go and talk to the MS Society of BC. There's a BC Yukon chapter, and that's who I've been kind of talking with. And they said to me, I'll throw up a pair of speakers, and I'll come out to your walks, to your bikes, to all that kind of stuff, or I could throw a benefit concert of some sort. And they said, well, what do you have in mind? And I said, well, I've got a couple of friends that have a relationship or some sort of connection within the MS community. And I'll give them a call. Give me about a week, and I'll see if I can kind of pull something together. This is kind of the end of June. So I made a few phone calls and emails and all that kind of stuff. And within, I'd probably say, about the first month of me going at it, half the sponsorship was done, the artist was booked, pretty much the deposit was paid for, all that kind of stuff. And I got Jess Moskaluke, who's a Juno Award-winning artist, on the bill to come to Kelowna to be a part of the first annual Music Fest MS.
Nice. So, and she was just ready and willing?
She was 100%. She's got a connection within MS. So the minute that I asked her and reached out, she was all over it. Like there was no questions asked. Yeah. It was cool.
And to have like the community jump on board right away must have been.
Oh, like I mean, I found that when you go into something with a purpose and a passion and things like that, the community just jumped behind it, and having such a personal connection to Kelowna and the Okanagan and being raised here, it's been incredible, from radio station support to local business support to even bigger corporate business support on a national scale. It's been incredible.
And already on like social media, you announced it in March, I think, early
Yeah.
March. Already you have like 200 people interested in attending the event, right?
Yeah, it's I mean it's at the community theater, so I mean I think it's about 850 seats, I want to say, and I believe at this point currently we are about half sold out.
Wow.
So it's been awesome. We still got about a month to go, and yeah, it's been incredible.
And I remember you kind of talked to me about this idea of kind of, I guess, in June and wanting to do it and kind of wanting to surprise your dad with it. So when you got everything in order and told him about it, what was that like?
So my dad has always been, well, the entire family has always been extremely supportive of me and my career and things like that. And all my emails, social media stuff, anything like that goes to both my phone and computer as well as my dad's phone and computer. So he sees everything just in case I'm on the road and can't reply to something. He'll say, "Hey, did you see this message from whomever?" I'll say, "Actually, do you mind replying to that, just saying I'm on the road," and all that kind of stuff. And he'll go back and do that. So I had to open up new bank accounts. I had to open up email accounts that all look professional and things like that to make sure it all lined up. And didn't tell my mom and dad for about 6 months.
Wow.
And just organized everything from basically the ground up. Until the point came where I had a meeting with my dad's boss, and he said, before you leave for Nashville, this is back in November, you're going to have to tell your dad, because if you don't, the office is going to. So, okay. So a week before I left, I printed up a little kind of mock-up poster, and went into the kitchen after dinner. It was my cousin, my sister, myself, and then mom and dad behind the little stool island area that we've got in the kitchen. And I said, so I apologize for lying for about 6 months about putting together a fundraiser and all that kind of stuff and not really being kind of secretive and stuff. But I've done this. And I gave them the poster, and the minute that I set it down in front of them, I was in tears. And they read through exactly what it was, and then mom and dad were in tears. My sister was in tears, and then all of a sudden it was just like this fountain for about 10, 15 minutes of just, oh! But yeah, it was an emotional day. But now everything is in line and it's happening, so.
Yeah. It's got to feel pretty good to.
It's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. I've never done anything like this before from a promotional perspective, or put something of this scale together. And just with the overall support from ticket sales to community sponsorship to anything like that has been unreal.
Yeah. Well, I guess let's talk a little bit about what Kelowna can expect from it. Like, what are we in store for?
So this, I mean, as the first annual, we're still putting things together. However, what we do know is that there's 2 levels of tickets. There's the VIP level, which you get basically is an acoustic show in the afternoon at B&A with Jess. So we're flying in Jess and her entire band from Saskatchewan, Ontario. I think there's some in Alberta. So we're flying them all in, and they're going to do a private acoustic show for a very select group of people. I think there's only about 134 tickets. And then we're going to pack them all into B&A. They'll do the acoustic show. There's first dibs at 50/50, first dibs at like some silent auction items that I'm going to be picking up in the next coming weeks. And then a selected section of the theater has been blocked off for those people. And then the tier underneath for $50 is the Kelowna Community Theater show with Jess and myself. And that type of thing, it's going to be like we'll have an MC, I'll be opening up for Jess, and then there'll be like a 15-minute intermission to go and refresh drinks and things like that at the theater. And then Jess comes on, and she'll play anywhere from, I think, an hour to 90 minutes or something like that.
Wow.
But yeah, so it's going to be a really kind of unreal experience, and for those VIP ticket holders, even more of a intimate experience with Jess.
Yeah. And you're hoping to raise a pretty large sum for this.
Yeah, the goal is 50,000.
Yeah.
And the cool part is that every ticket sale, every donation, 50/50, anything that comes out of the concert day itself on the 5th of May is 100% going back to the MS Society. So everything else has been covered. So regardless of, like, for those who come and actually experience the show, every dime that they spend or that they put into the tickets or whatever it's going to be goes back towards MS.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome. And is there a way for people to help out and support your cause even if they can't come to the event?
Oh, 100%. I mean, even if they can't come to the event, they can, like anybody, I've had a few people contact me through my website and asked if they can help out. Even to come and, whether it's beforehand or just if they want to donate specifically, I can put them in contact with whomever that person is of the society and all that kind of stuff. So, absolutely.
Awesome. Well, guys, you can get your tickets through KelownaTickets.com, May 5th at the Kelowna Community Theater.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thanks for coming in, Ben.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
And welcome back to the Okanagan.
Yeah, right. It's good to be home.